is Gang Gloom yesterday. Quite a day in Florham Park as the Jets surprised everyone by waiting until now to release David Harris and then announced they will either trade or release Eric Decker. Besides Harris and Decker, the Jets have said goodbye to Brandon Marshall, Nick Mangold, Darrelle Revis, among several other veterans, Ryan Fitzpatrick. The moves have saved the team $68 million, and it leaves the roster very, very young and no doubt less accomplished. This has led everyone to assume the team is tanking the upcoming season so they can take one of the big quarterbacks in next year's draft. Bob, in your mind, are the Jets tanking?
As a football scholar once told me, one man's tanking is another man's rebuilding, Jonas.
Wow.
So, you know, they can spin it any way they want. But my question is this. We know they're shedding a lot of older players, and David Harris is the latest one to go. But what do you do? I mean, what are you saying to your fan base? You expecting them to be patient? What are they paying for this year? Are you going to come watch the games on television? They're going to be a ratings disaster. So I'm saying now you have to go with this because that's what they're doing. They're tearing it down. It's a rebuild. It's not a tank.
No, it's a total tank job. I mean, I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do either. I mean, if they need a quarterback and they want, let's say, Sam Darnold from USC, you know, you don't want to go 5-11. You only want to win 2 games. You want to get the #1 pick. But it is a shame for the fans, and it's also a shame for, we were talking about this with Harris the other day, you lose a guy like Decker, you lose a guy like Harris. These guys are linchpins at certain positions or on sides of the ball who can help these young guys grow. Even if you're tanking, you still want to establish a foundation. Just because you have some promising high draft picks this year at safety, Nunwa, guys you feel solid about, Leonard Williams, you still want to build a collective and a foundation that is going to make people get into the seats and feel positively about your future.
Yeah, well, how about developing some young, hungry players? I don't think they're tanking. As a matter of fact, if they were tanking, they would have re-signed Fitzpatrick, brought back Revis, kept Brandon Marshall. This is the complete opposite to me. David Harris, look, great player here for a long time, have great respect for him. He has been too slow for about 5 years, okay? You need somebody who can go across the field fast at that position of linebacker. So the Jets are trying to upgrade there. I know he's a tackle machine, but this has been a long time coming as far as I'm concerned, especially in coverage for linebacker. Want a little more speed than they have with David Harris. So maybe the timing of it, you want to question that? I'm fine with that.
That's it, right?
Yeah, but still, okay, so you're worried about, you know what, Jonas, they got to move forward here and worry about the organization, not the players' feelings and the timing of it.
I think you bring up that point. If they had done this in early March, I'm not sure that many people would have batted an eye, quite frankly. I mean, there was a justification to shedding the salary and everything else. The timing of it feels very strange.
Yeah, but as Sal brought up, and I agree with him, the fans get upset because they think David Harris, they should have released him earlier because he could have caught on. But the whole thing about it is it's a business, and they're shedding salary. The other thing I don't want to eliminate from this conversation is the fact they could be pulling back the purse strings, you know, going on the cheap, so to speak, and selling that as a rebuild as well.
But that's why it's a tank job, because the Decker and Harris moves are moves where you're totally taking the names and personalities off the budget sheet, and Woody Johnson's just crossing names off a ledger, which is indicating that you're not looking at chemistry or anything else. You're just looking at what money you're going to have for the future.
Yeah, but
what also kills me is the Patriots are going to have another walkthrough in this division, and they're going to be right back.
They would walk through if the Jets, I mean, they're going to walk through it anyway, but the fact of the matter is, even if with the tank or rebuild, they're doing something different. If the fans going to accept it, that remains to be seen.
Let me just tell you right now, the one thing I can promise you, Jets post-game live, see him right after every Jets game this year.
Good luck with that, Jonas.
We're not tanking.